Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Radcast, which is a brief invitation to the technology sector to join the race for solutions to abrupt climate change. And I'm happy to be joined by my colleague Michael in Thailand. Great to see you, Michael. How are you doing today? All right.
Doing well, Jamin. Good to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Great to have you here. So let's jump in with the invitation. And speaking of jumping in, Michael, please jump in at any time. Planet Earth, Mother Earth, right now is threatened severely by abrupt climate change, which is melting the ice, land-based ice, sea ice, Arctic ice, destroying much of the biosphere with the wildfires and hurricanes, and heating up of the oceans, which is threatening all aquatic life. And in so many ways, driving and accelerating the sixth mass extinction of species on Earth, which threatens our very favorite species, humanity, along with most other species. Certainly most complex life is threatened with extinction. So I am inviting all of you in the technology sector to join with us, to join with Radish.org, Michael, myself, and many other members of Radish and the Radish community to join the race for solutions to abrupt climate change. And there's really two parts of this that I want to address. One is direct solutions where we can apply technology such as geoshading, cleaning up the oceans, deacidifying the oceans, restoring the biosphere in myriad ways. So direct solutions to halt and ultimately reverse abrupt climate change. And the other area is indirect, but many times more powerful, and that is to join with the rest of us in the Radish community on building out the platforms for radical collective intelligence, which is both a much higher form of intelligence and an exponentially growing form of intelligence that will become so darn smart that it will invent and co-create all of the solutions that we need to abrupt climate change and the myriad other problems and risks that we are all facing here on Earth. So that's really the gist of what I had to say about that. I'll share in a minute kind of the agenda that we'll be covering in the video, in the rest of the videos in this series that we invite you all to watch as part of this invitation. But first, let me just hand it over to Michael. Just jump in anytime, Michael, if you have anything to add whatsoever, even questions, comments. This is totally free-flowing. Because we're setting the example of what we do within radical collective intelligence. We have conversations. That's a big part of it. We'll get into the other parts as we move along. I'd like to show the kind of the schedule of video conferences we're going to have. We're currently watching this first one, Invitation to the Tech Sector, to join the race for solutions to climate change. And like I said, a big part of that is building out the platforms for radical collective intelligence. So the next one will be an introduction to radical collective intelligence, both a brief video introducing the topic generally, and then there will be a whole series within that if you want to go deeper into the introduction, which I highly recommend. Then beyond the introduction, the 4 stages of radical collective intelligence: ideation, design, modeling and optimization, and implementation, the growth of radical collective intelligence, a specific invitation to the tech sector going a bit deeper as to why we need you all in building out radical collective intelligence. And then solutions, meta-solution, and solutionaries. Radical collective intelligence is a meta-solution in that it generates all the other solutions that we need. And solutionaries are the people who join in and participate in co-creating the solutions. We'll then have an introductory video on the world's most daunting problems, including but not limited to abrupt climate change. We'll then talk more about what exactly abrupt climate change is. That will spawn off a whole series with presentations from Professor Guy McPherson, among Professor Mark Jacobson from Stanford, among many others. Then we'll talk about solutions to abrupt climate change. This will in turn spawn another series where we'll talk about some of the notable solutions that we need. Geoshading, fusion energy to power, among other things, carbon sequestration. Holistic land management, a natural way to achieve carbon sequestration, totally natural. Political, cultural, and economic solutions. And then that spawns another series where we'll talk about different solutions in that regard, including rallying the tech sector. That's an economic solution as well as a cultural solution. So anyway, that's sort of the agenda. So please watch all of these videos and please join the conversation. We'll be at the Microsoft campus the first week of September, September 4th through the 7th, specifically inviting my alma mater, Microsoft, to join in the race for solutions to abrupt climate change. So with that, any comments, questions, ideas, Michael?
Only that by joining the conversation, you're helping to build the meta solution of which we speak, that which will in turn generate the solutions, just by being a part of the conversation. So if you're watching this, you're already there.
Beautiful. Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much, Michael. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next videos in this series. See you soon.
See you.